Hey guys, this is the Like Minimal YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get better at smiling while talking. And I'm Megan. And in this video, I want to talk about the first step of a series of steps that I am going to be discussing on this channel in order to create a life that is aligned with our values and who we are. These steps kind of go hand in hand with a journal and planner that I recently put out there for free. It's an early version of something I've been working on, and the whole purpose of the planner is to help us live a more intentional, values-driven life. And I call it the Daily Intent Journal and Planner, and if you're interested in downloading it for free, you can visit likeminimal.com and just enter your email address in the pop-up box, or you can click on the link that I'll put in the description box, which will just take you right to a different page to enter your email address. Anyway, this first step that I think is important to start off with is acknowledging and finding your values. What are values? Values are defined as a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. Basically, our values kind of guide us, and there are core beliefs about how we should act and what is and isn't acceptable. Because our values can guide our actions in life, I think it's really important for us to know what our values are and why we have those values. So I wondered how we acquire our values or form our values, and I think that they come from many different places, including innate dispositions and tendencies and qualities, as well as from external sources such as parents, our society, and our individual cultures. I do think that sometimes we can grow into our values. We might learn and experience new things that help us to change or form our values, and I think that this can happen at any age, and it's never too late to find or realize or acknowledge what your values actually are. Or it's never too late to adjust them. So how can we figure out what our values actually are? I think a great place to start is to set aside some time by yourself to sit down and write it out. So based on my experiences, which I get into more detail about on my most recent blog post, which you can find in the link below, I've kind of settled on a couple questions that will help us to better understand ourselves and our values, as long as we answer those questions honestly. When I talk about trying to answer these questions honestly, I'm talking about hearing from our intuition, that deep, innate source of knowing. So when I say this, talking about intuition and a deep, innate source of knowing, I understand that in society's eyes, in our ego-driven, logical, mainstream society, that might seem weird or woo-woo or whatever you want to call it. And it is what it is. I say it's cooler to be happy than to try to look cool and not be happy. Anyway, talking about the intuition. So Jess Lively of the podcast, The Lively Show, she walks us through how to speak to our intuition and hear from our intuition in an episode of her podcast. And I really credit this exercise with figuring out what my values are and figuring out who I am on a deeper level. And I write more about using this exercise, and I even share with you a lot of the personal responses that I heard from my intuition with you in that blog post I mentioned earlier. So I'll link everything below. Jess Lively has studied and worked a lot with the intuition, and she's done a lot of interesting work, so check her out. Anyway, Listening to our intuition to answer these questions is very important. Basically, it's just that answer you get that's not from the ego, that's not from worrying about doing the cool thing, or the right thing for someone else. But it's listening to that answer that's more expansive, more seems right, even if it's a hard thing for you to hear. So there are a couple questions that I pose in the beginning of the Daily Intent Journal and Planner because I think they are very important in figuring out what our values are. So that's step one in creating a life that we love. So first question I ask is, what is important to you? And again, listen to your intuition and think about why those things or ideas are important to you. And the second question that I ask is, what do you want to make of your life? So that's a pretty straightforward question. What do you want to make of your life? Why are you here? What's the point? I'll share with you how I answered these questions the other day. So for the first question, what is important to you? Here's what I wrote down. It's important to me to be happy and healthy. It's important to me to help other animals and people to be happy and healthy. I feel amazing when I'm happy and healthy. I feel amazing when other people are happy and healthy and when animals are happy and healthy. It warms my heart and helps me to enjoy my own life. I'm very sensitive to the pain of others and hate being in pain myself, especially pain that is unnecessary. I think everyone has pain sometimes, but systemic oppression and violence is unnecessary for a healthy planet. It's important to me that I act on a daily basis in ways that will change systemic oppression and violence against all life so that more people and animals and the planet for that matter can be happy and healthy. La la la. So that's what's important to me. And the second question that I answered, what do you want to make of your life? I wrote, I want to free animals and people of unnecessary pain and suffering and help everyone to be happy and healthy and live in harmony. So basically world peace. I want to free all animals. There's no point to cause others so much suffering. People are so distracted by money and entertainment and being cool that they harm others daily. What is the point of life? I think it's human nature to be kind to all animals and the earth and to enjoy each other's company and work together to make good things happen. I want to be a well-spoken, intelligent, thoughtful, caring, kind, compassionate, empathetic, wise, firm, and action-taking member of society as a woman. I want to understand how humans function so that we can address the problems. I want to learn and work to get to the point of liking humans as a species because I think that it's necessary to work with them to solve these problems. I want to balance making my own life great with making others' lives great and generating an income in a way that doesn't exploit people, animals, or the planet. However, I really like what Colleen Patrick Goudreau says, don't do nothing because you can't do everything. In this world we've created, there's no perfect way to exist. I'm typing this on a computer that was built by people I don't know, in conditions I don't know about, with substances and metals that are harmful to human health, etc. I think it's about making the best choices I can in each moment. So, based on my answers, my intuitive answers to these questions and answering these questions previously on a semi-regular basis, I've learned about myself that my values are health and wellness of myself, others, non-human animals, and the planet, compassion, spending time with loved ones, and I'm going to go ahead and say the fourth one would be mindfulness and acting intentionally. So these are my core beliefs and my values that influence my daily actions, habits, routines, what else? Interactions and goals. Yeah, so once we have our values and we understand like what we're about as a human and why, we can move on to the next step in creating a life that we enjoy and a life that is aligned with these values. And that, for me, would be mapping out our lives and our goals. So that'll be the next video in this series, and you can expect to see it soon. Don't forget, if you're interested in a tool that will help you, hopefully helped me, that will help you to find these values and then move forward in the next steps, you can go to likeminimal.com and just enter your email in the pop-up box, and you'll be sent a copy of this journal and planner, totally free. It's a month's worth of pages. Print it double-sided if you can, and it's an early version, so hopefully one day it'll be a physical product, and I just want to put it out there. And if you use it and you want to give me some feedback, I'd be happy to hear about it. Send me an email, whatever you want to do. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.